Hello! Welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail, episode 46. Before I get to the drink today, I have to give a shout out to Cocktail Tony. On my last video, Cocktail Tony wrote a message to me and gave me some compliments. He's a guy who has his own cocktail program. Check him out. He's a really fun guy. He is what I would call a daredevil mixologist. As you know, here on my show, I tend to do sort of established drinks. I haven't done too many experiments of my own, but that's what Cocktail Tony does. He puts them together, and if it tastes good, he gives it a name and he makes a video for it. I hope I can be as bold as Cocktail Tony. So thanks a lot, Cocktail Tony, for what you're doing, and keep doing it. So today I'm bringing you a new drink, the Blinker. In the last episode, I made a drink with orgeat. Along with that bottle of orgeat, which I ordered from a company called Lieber & Company. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly, but I also bought a bottle of grenadine. I don't know about you, but grenadine to me, all I've ever really known about it is that it makes your drink red, and it's used in Shirley Temples. When my brother and sister and I were kids, we used to go over to my grandma and grandpa's for New Year's Eve, and they used to make us Shirley Temples while our parents went out on the town and did whatever they did for New Year's Eve. What I didn't know is that grenadine is made from pomegranate juice. This particular recipe has pomegranate juice and also orange flower water, plus some sugar and, I don't know, guar gum. Is there guar gum? There's gum arabic and benzoic acid. I don't know what those are. But anyway, I'm sure this is delicious. So anyway, I was looking around in some of my cocktail books for a drink to make with grenadine, and wouldn't you know, the first page I opened to, there was a drink with grenadine, which I had to make it. And I also love that it's called a Blinker. Never heard of it. This is from my 3-ingredient cocktail book by Robert Simonson. This drink was first printed in 1934. It looks crazy on paper. He says it is surprisingly potent and refreshing. He also insists that you use a decent potent rye. This has rye in it. And also a homemade grenadine. I did not make a homemade grenadine. I wanted to find a reason to use the bottled grenadine I have. But it looks fairly artisanal. It's in such a lovely little bottle. I'm sure it will be better than anything that I would make at home. Really quickly, another thing that I recently learned, something that I've been bringing up here a couple of times here on the show, whether to stir or shake your cocktails. And recently I read, I don't know how this was lost on me for so long, but essentially you're supposed to use a shaker with any drink that has cream or citrus in it. And anything that doesn't, you're supposed to stir. There's also all this other boozy lore, about shaking your martini or shaking your Manhattan. You bruise the alcohol. I don't know that it's so much that, but I read somewhere else that you're supposed to use it whenever you use citrus or cream. So this has citrus in it. So that's why I brought this up. And okay, let's get to it. Here is what goes into a Blinker. First, we have rye. This is Templeton rye. I've never used it before. Actually, that's probably not true. I think I actually may have used Templeton rye before. I just don't remember when. This is made in Templeton, Iowa. I just read that on the back of the bottle. Small town, strong spirit. Oh yeah, it smells like some good stuff. Which actually is their tagline. Templeton rye, the good stuff. So, it has rye. It also has, as I said before, grenadine and also grapefruit juice. Now, as I said earlier, Robert Simonson suggested that you use a homemade grenadine, which I did not make and I'm not using, but I am going to use freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. You know me here on the show, I tend to avoid super sweetness in a drink, so I felt like if I went out and bought a bottle of grapefruit juice, it probably would have had added sugar in it, and I knew that I was going to have sugar in the grenadine, so while I did not make a homemade grenadine, I am using homemade, fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. Here is how you make a Blinker. First, add a crap ton of ice to your shaker. Next, we are going to add 2 ounces of rye.
1, 2.
Next, we are going to add 3 ounces of grapefruit juice. Ooh, that smells good.
1, 2, 3.
Turns out 1 large grapefruit is equivalent to about 3 ounces of juice. And finally, 1 ounce of grenadine. Don't forget to shake it up a little bit.
1.
And now, shake the crap out of it for about 15 seconds. Okay, next we are going to strain it into a chilled coupe glass. Ooh, it's so chilly. I've decided that I'm going to double strain it actually, because as I was putting the grapefruit juice in there, I saw that there was quite a bit of pulp and a little bit of seed, which I don't want. So here we go, double straining.
Oh, look at that. Oh, holy cow.
Well, first of all, that is all the way up to the top. I'm supposed to add a garnish right now. I can't add a garnish because it is literally up to the top. I should have been a little bit more careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste it. I've never done this before. Right here, down at this level. I've always gone up there. For this program, I'm going to do it right here. Let's taste the blinker. Oh, that's really good. This, let me tell you, look at that. Look how pretty that is. That is really pretty. It's exactly what Robert Simonson said it was. It's very refreshing. I'm very happy to have a refreshing drink as we go here into spring. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. You might ask yourself, does it taste like punch? Why, yes, it does. But there are so many cocktails that taste like punch, especially when they're made from vodka. I was just having this discussion with my friend Matt Kroll, hi Matt, about the fact that when you use vodka, you pretty much, as I've said many times here, the thing about vodka is it's tasteless, basically. It doesn't have a strong particular flavor of any kind, so it's going to take on the flavors of whatever you put into it. While that's very true here, because you have the rye, you distinctly taste the rye in this. If there were vodka in this, it would taste like a cocktail, it would taste like alcohol, but it would mostly taste like the grapefruit juice and the grenadine. This is mixing really nicely. All three of those components are present, basically. And it's kind of perfect, really, especially if you like a sweet drink. Delina, I haven't shouted out Delina here in a while, but Delina is my niece who really only likes sweet drinks and really, I think, Delina, right, you don't like brown liquor. I don't think you've liked anything with brown liquor. I think you would like this. I think there's just enough grenadine in here to make it sweet enough for you. And for me, there's enough grapefruit juice to take away some of the sweetness. It has a little bit of a bitter component to it. I think it has a really nice balance to it. And it's so pretty. God, I love that. This is no Shirley Temple. This is gonna pack a little bit of a punch. I mean, make sure you use a glass that's big enough, please. I almost spilled the delicious, valuable contents of this glass, but I did not. Feeling like more of a professional every day. All right, I think that's it. The blinker. Thank you, as always, for watching Harry Has a Cocktail, and we'll see you back here next time. Cheers.